Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first unit of impeccable wisdom. Brahmandya Purush, the creation of the cosmic being. Sanatana Dharma, Ved, Upanishad, Gita, and all the scriptures of the world are filled with phenomenal, impeccable wisdom which has not been recognized by anything. With the help of the information, knowledge, absolute wisdom, impeccable wisdom of Sanatana Dharma, I have been able to prove this is impeccable wisdom which everybody around the world should have it. First thing which I have learned from these scriptures is your life should be full of dharma, righteousness, truth, blissful. There is nothing other than that. All your ideas, thoughts, action should be full of dharma only, good for everyone. Then the knowledge you should create from data, information, knowledge to the wisdom to akhandata should be perfect from every core. There should not be any problem at all. As a result, we can get moksha, the freedom for full life, freedom from all the constraints of life. And same thing is shown in this particular picture of Gita Upadesh, you call it, Katha Upadesh, you call it, that physical as body, a Jivatma is made of 100 trillion cells, which are complete by themselves. Pindandam is perfect. Within the Pindandam is the Antaratma, which Arjun represents the complete being who can be a perfect human being in tune with soul and do wonders what he has done. Then in the picture also talks about Paramatma, Lord Krishna, which knows the entire universe. Once you know your physical body completely, you are in tune with Jivatma, you are in tune with universal consciousness, then all the impeccable wisdom of the entire universe will be at your fingertips, and that is what I am trying to show. All this knowledge is there in Vedas, Upanishads, and scriptures, including Bhagavad Gita, provided we look at it with an open mind to understand impeccable wisdom. Let's not get into controversy which is not required. And that concept is also put together in Tret Paravidya, three souls within the human body. My Dharma, impeccable wisdom. The greatest discovery is Divyan, the divine design of nature with the perfect objects are designed. When the knowledge of which I am able to rewrite the whole thing without any difficulty, any nature. And this knowledge is taught from school, college, university, throughout the world. There will be perfection to the core. And that has been Hita Upadesh very clear. Vidya dadati vinyam vinyat yati patratam patratam cha dhanam dharam sukham. Impeccable wisdom will make you very humble. When you are humble, you will make a great team of casteless society. When they work according to their training and other things, there will be abundance of money. There will be, where there is money, there is dharma, and there is comfort for everybody. That is what Sanatana Dharma talks about it. Now we come to the very question, Cosmic Purusha, the divine being. Many people believe that Cosmic Purusha was created spontaneously for the world as a macrocosmic representative, macrocosmic universe. We do agree on that. But we have, in my understanding, we have grown from mineral, plant, and animal, and we can experience the entire universe within us as such. We have come to this stage over evolution. Not a spontaneous overthing is my, and this particular video will talk from Aitreya Upanishad about Cosmic Purusha's creation. Now, Cosmic Purusha, Aitreya Upanishad, very clear, chapter 1, section 1. Before the creation, there was only Atma, the soul, which I would call isomers and neon 21. Before that, then Tamas, Andhakar, and Mrityu. And nothing other than the Atma winked. That was a black, dark world. And then that soul at that particular stage, let me create the world. So creation started from soul, which I would say neon 21 isomers. This I have represented in a Saransh in many of my videos, that before the creation it was Nirankar, Nirgun, Brahman. If you are able to see that, that means Tamas, Andhakar, Mrityu, you can understand. Isomers are neon 21. Then during the creation, it was light, which was neon 22. Then from there came all the elements of the world with which the entire universe is This is beautifully represented in this particular thing, and that is what this Upanishad is also talking about. Although this Upanishad, interesting enough, is derived from Rig Veda itself. And Rig Veda is the most important Ved because it's talking of the atoms, elements, molecules, of all the things which we human beings are all about. Now, Ved and understanding Aitreya Upanishad and understand this concept is the entire Rig Veda is represented so beautifully in this few sections itself. The first section which says, the soul created the world of. Now, we are now coming to very specific, very tabulated description step by step. We need to understand these steps very clearly how from tamas, andhakar, light came, from light came effulgence, and then the world was created. And what was the world which nature, the soul created? First, it talks about Ambo, the heaven divine Amrit or water. And I'm clear, three Ambika, there are three divine mothers, Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali. They are the creatrix, and for that, it is the divine soul, water, Amrit, which is Akash Ganga, which is all. So, first thing which was created was water, H2O, which has the protons of 10, and everything centers on 10, 10, 10 alone. Beautiful. From there come brilliant effulgence, the atmosphere, sun, sunlight, and everything from there. Then came the maram, our dead body, the solid earth, which is made of elements of 38.1966%. And in the mother, there is water with 61.8034. The first Ambo, the divine water, is Amrit. But the water inside the earth in the primary ocean is actually solution. It's not pure water as such. It has got all the elements of the nature presented. Inside the earth, ocean water is solution, whereas Ambos is a pure water. This is something which is so beautifully described in this. I'm surprised we had such a brilliant minds who were in tune with it. Now, this Ambod, the Amrit came down is what shown in Akash Ganga's descent for recreating dead people are suspended into the one, also to make whole thing very, very clear. So descent of Maha Shakti as Akash Ganga, the Amrit is for us. And same thing is what they were trying to get from so ocean itself. Now come to the section part 3. The soul thought, here are the worlds. Now let me create a guardian, a Lokpalan, a custodian for the world. We have created the three worlds, you have created everything. Now we need to create a guardian for the world to take care of. From water the soul drew forth the person. Now very clear. The creation of the first soul came in ocean waters only, warm water. The first unicellular organism was born in the ocean. It got all its sustained from the water, and all the were thrown into the water. So the water was essential. And then this soul got a particular shape, like a cell, unicellular or multicellular, and what we are today. Then comes the question of the next. The thought of the 8 divinities within the human particular soul which was created. First, the mouth for speech. Second, nostrils for breathing. Third, eyes for sightseeing. Fourth, ears for hearing and space. Fifth, skin. The first 5 are 5 elements which we are talking about. Panchbhutas. We have come out of Panchbhutas, we live in Panchbhutas, we die into Panchbhutas, and Panchbhutas have the gross as well as subtle aspects. So you have almost 10 things in there. Then 6th portion is the heart, the mind. Mind is something which is representations associated with sympathetic system, heart, and the moon, which is other than sun. It's so beautifully put. 7th is the navel, which is outbreath through which things go out. And that means death has to take place from navel only, that is 7th part. 8th is the generative organ, because what we have created, we should also procreate further. That's the reason I talk about it. Brahmacharya is not what Sanatana Dharma talks about it. as it getting married, producing children, so the procreation continues is the eighth part, which is importantly explained in the particular process. Then section 2 comes the cosmic powers, which is eight powers. These all the eight powers fell into the ocean water at primordial ocean, and then soul subjected the person and the divinities to hunger and strike, because having produced a person, unless that we could put them hunger and thirst, that means solid food has to be taken, water has to be taken to for them to maintain, sustain, and survive for rest of life, and they were put it to do so. Then person wanted the soul to find a source where the divinities could eat food, water, etc., and sustain thereafter. What a beautiful link. You have a soul, you have a hunger, you have a thirst. Now you need a place where you can eat the food. So then soul had to get a person who can eat the food. Form was ill-defined to start with. Then he brought a cow. He said, he refused. Soul said, no, I don't want cow. It is animal. It doesn't have the immense power at all. Then he brought a horse. It is more powerful than the cow, but doesn't have the mind of universal consciousness. To the third stage, okay, I'll give you the human form, which is my representation. Didn't say, well done, this form is after. That means we have evolved to that stage from atom, elements, molecules, plants, animals, to what human beings are. We have come that far. It's a divinity which is speaking about. Then soul told divinity to enter the human form now that you are given the perfect form. Then section 4. Fire became speech, entered the mouth. Air became breath and entered the nostrils. Sun became sight and entered the eyes. Moon became hearing, entered the ears. Plant became trees, hair and entered the skin, the Panchbhutas. Then moon, which represents the sun's light, became the mind and entered the heart. Death became out-breath, entered the navel. Water became the semen and entered the testes and female organs for procreation. Beautiful. There is nothing more, nothing less. Nothing has been omitted. Nothing superfluous has been put. Everything is well defined. Brilliant to the core. Aitreya Upanishad. Then comes the chapter 2.5. Hunger and thirst told the soul. Please find the abode of entry. Soul told the hunger and thirst. I assigned you a place in these divinities. I have given you 8 divinities. Please make sure that you share with them all what you have got. So hunger and thirst became the Arpaka and started taking the food. Then section 4th is the food. Third part is what food. The first thing, here are the guardians of the world. Let me create food further. Now the food section 2 says, brooded over the water and produced a form. Whatever produced as form was food. Every product was produced with water. Perfect percentage of this. That means all the plant kingdom which provide food for all the beings was from water, came from water, is so beautiful. There is no life without water, and water has 61.8034%. Then section 3 is then the soul said, I am disappearing. Now it is up to the human body to get the food and survive as yourself. I will enter later. I am not going to enter into this body till you are fully formed and done with it. The human beings sought the food with speech, but human form could not seize the food with speech. We can enjoy food with speech, we can be satisfied, but the body could not get that food required for itself through speech. Then it is a breath. We could not receive the food with the breath either. We could enjoy, can be satisfied with smell of the food, but the body could not get food through breath. Then with the sight, the eyes could not seize the food with the eyes. We can enjoy the food, we can be satisfied, but we cannot receive the food through the eyes. Next was very clear for the hearing. With the hearing, we are not able to receive the food with the hearing, but we can enjoy the food and satisfy it. It's so beautifully put together. We can enjoy, but we cannot survive, take it and survive for the human. Then next one, with the skin. You can touch the food, you can feel the food, but you cannot, with the skin, you cannot get the food for the particular body to satisfy, sustain for rest of life. Then the mind and the heart came into, but it not could not achieve the food, receive the food with the mind. We can enjoy with the mind. Oh, what a lovely food I had! I enjoyed it. It's lovely. Even with the eating, you can do that. But really, you cannot really receive food for the body through the mind. Then next came the stage, generative organs. Could not receive the food through generative organs. You can enjoy food through emissions of the body, which have all the essence of the body. And it is said, emissions, but male and female have everything within the body represented in ovum, sperms, as well as emissions. We can be satisfied. But that is not the way the human body can receive the food for its survival. Then comes the stage, the person sought the food with the out breaths, apana prana. Apana is supposed to be to throw the things out, but you cannot receive. But here comes the biggest mystery of the world. And I'm glad to say that no one, till I opened this particular picture and making this clear, understood this particular statement of Aitreya Upanishad. How can you receive the food through apana prana, which is supposed to throw it out? Was the great mystery which is there. Grasp for the food is out breath, air, that is, it is. The person survives for the rest of the life after taking food through out breath. Now the question comes, what is the hidden divine secret in this particular thing? This is the most important concept in Aitreya Upanishad is not talking about spontaneous growth. It's talking about child being built in the mother's womb, ambo, mothers. From point 1 to this particular stage, and all the requirement of the growing fetus come to the person through umbilical cord only. And that's the most beautiful thing. And I'm glad I could decipher this particular thing and they give the world the wisdom of this particular Aitreya Upanishad. What a wonderful concept it is. It is the umbilical cord which is attached to the navel or navi, through which the food comes as well as goes out. Is not used any of the other 7 divinities to receive and survive. It was umbilical cord. It is apana prana to throw content from the fetus, but also to take things from the mother to this was through the umbilical cord only. This particular concept is amazing, and I'm glad that I've been able to do this with a divine grace. Maybe because I have Antaratma fully known, I understand Paramatma. The entire universe which is there, Akash Kosh, is well at my fingertips. I'm glad I've been able to do that. Now then, soul thought, how can food exist without a soul? That's the time when child is already come to a particular stage. That soul enters into it again. And that is what Antaratma or Paramatma is all about. Not before the child is born, is come to the stage when it is there. Divinity design is created for many different functions of the body, and the soul thought, the body thought, who am I? And then question comes, soul came, that we not to enter, to think, and become what we are. Physical body by itself cannot think and do. It is soul which gives you the thought. As long as soul is there, we can do wonders. Soul consciousness. Without that, we can't go to the evolution part at all. And now, section 12 After opening the top of the head, the soul entered the human being. That means at 22 weeks, when the fetus is completely formed, only then soul can enter through the top of the head, anterior fontanelle, the releasing end, and is very pleasing and very beautiful abodes. Is very clear. After the child is grown to the stage, only then soul can enter. When soul enters the human being is born, the soul saw the delivery of the human being also very clear. Perceives the human being as a Brahmin. I have seen the Brahmin birth now. Now the child which is born, this Upanishad says every child is born as a Brahmin only. It has got all the potentialities of divinity. Now it's up to us to work to be a divine being like a Brahmin, or you want to be whatever it is. Now the mind has been given. If you are with soul, you become divine being. If you are not with a soul, you become a devil. That's how we see the entire world. Now the chapter 4, the last part, that the name of the human being was given Indra. That means it is human being or Indra. Then also shows Pidandam Brahmandam is Ekam. We are microcosmic represent macrocosmic universe, and we can see this is the ultimate truth of Aitreya Upanishad, Ved, Upanishad, Sanatana Dharma completely. We are the living incarnation, we are the guardian, we are the Lokpalan, we are the custodians of the world. And now same picture is there, that we are made of 10 parts, heavenly bodies are 10, and even cosmic Ashish is one. And we are Tattvam Atsisi, or Aham Brahmasmi. Now, decode this particular thing. Ocean is like the amniotic fluid, and all the things in that, and everything comes from that. It is not something very difficult to understand for a scientific mind. And also Apana Prana is shown, there are Panch Pranas. Apana Prana is right at the bottom with the navel, which throws things out. Where Samana Prana is for digestion, Apana Prana is for oxygen, Udana Prana is evolution, Vayana is the effort all round. And Apana is the out breath, which can throw it out. But here navel has got both throwing out and in, and that is the beauty of this particular. And the whole enters full development in 21 weeks. Soul enters on 22 through the anterior fontanelle. Is also full brain development in 21 years. Cranial sutures closed at 22 is another thing. And this is what it is. And let me say enough for the day. We will talk about it further at a later date. Thank you very